The Lion and the Fox. A fox entered into partnership with a lion on the pretense of becoming his servant. Each undertook his proper duty in accordance with his own nature and powers. The fox discovered and pointed out the prey. The lion sprang on it and seized it. The fox soon became jealous of the lion, carrying off the lion's share, and said that he would no longer find out the prey, but would capture it on his own account. The next day he attempted to snatch a lamb from the fold, but fell himself a prey to the huntsmen and hounds. Do not trust too greatly to your prowess. The Fisherman Piping. A fisherman skilled in music took his flute and nets to the seashore. Standing on a projecting rock, he played several tunes in the hope that the fish, attracted by his melody, would, of their own accord, dance into his net, which he had placed below. At last, having long waited in vain, he laid aside his flute, and casting his net into the sea, made an excellent haul of fish. When he saw them leaping about in the net upon the rock, he said, "O you most perverse creatures! When I piped, you would not dance, but now that I have ceased, you do so merrily." He achieves most who sticks to his trade. The Hounds in Couples. A huntsman was leading forth his hounds one morning to the chase, and had linked several of the young dogs in couples, to prevent their following every scent, and hunting disorderly, as their own inclinations and fancy should direct them. Among others, it was the fate of Jowler and Vixen to be thus yoked together. Jowler and Vixen were both young and inexperienced, but had for some time been constant companions, and seemed to have entertained a great fondness for each other. They used to be perpetually playing together, and in any quarrel that happened, always took one another's part. It might have been expected, therefore, that it would not be disagreeable to them to be still more closely united. However, it proved otherwise. They had not been long joined together before both parties began to express uneasiness at their present situation. Different inclinations and opposite wills began to discover and to exert themselves. If one chose to go this way, the other was as eager to take the contrary. If one was pressing forward, the other was sure to lag behind. Vixen pulled back Jowler, and Jowler dragged along Vixen. Jowler growled at Vixen, and Vixen snapped at Jowler, till at last it came to a downright quarrel between them, and Jowler treated Vixen in a very rough and ungenerous manner, without any regard to the inferiority of her strength or the tenderness of her sex. As they were thus continually vexing and tormenting one another, an old hound, who had observed all that passed, came up to them, and thus reproved them: "What a couple of silly puppies you are, to be perpetually worrying yourselves at this rate! What hinders your going on peaceably and quietly together? Cannot you compromise the matter between you by each consulting the other's inclination a little? At least try to make a virtue of necessity, and submit to what you cannot remedy. You cannot get rid of the chain, but you may make it fit easy upon you. I am an old dog. Let my age and experience instruct you. When I was in the same circumstances with you, I soon found that thwarting my companion was only tormenting myself, and my yoke fellow happily came into the same way of thinking. We endeavored to join in the same pursuits, and to follow one another's inclinations, so we jogged on together, not only with ease and quiet, but with comfort and pleasure. We found by experience that mutual compliance not only compensates for liberty, but is even attended with a satisfaction and delight beyond what liberty itself can give. Mutual compliances are necessary to matrimonial happiness.